right, Ravens fans, don't hate me. But what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Ravens Media, bringing you Ravens content every single day. If you want to stay daily Ravens content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and turn the notification bell on if you're going to get notified every single time I upload a brand new video. Quick shout out, I'll put it in the description down below. I started up the second channel today, so the first video is out, as well as kind of just like a description of what the second channel is going to be. But go check it out; it's a lot of fun. It actually really relates to today's topic. But overall, I want to talk about something that it came out. I don't know what it was. It was last Saturday or last Friday, and I've been afraid to put out my opinion on it because I've been afraid of what Ravens fans are going to say, because y'all are kind of brutal when people disagree. And the first thing that I want to say is I think that Ravens fans as a collective, including myself, we've all gotten into this a loop where we are so used to Lamar criticism, to Ravens criticism, that we just instantly, anytime we see anything sort of negative, we instantly just take it as just completely incorrect and absolutely ludicrous. You know, when people like PFF are putting out their rankings or whatever, and they're like, oh, J.K. Dobbins is the 27th best running back, or ESPN puts out their quarterback rankings and they say Lamar Jackson's the 8th best quarterback in the NFL, not even including Deshaun Watson. And that is ludicrous. That is like, we react to that and that makes sense. And we just go absolutely crazy on the people that say it, which makes sense. However, we're doing it so often that I think we have lost the ability to take criticism and look at it from a full perspective. Now, with that, I want to talk about Shannon Sharpe, and I want to talk about what he's said about Lamar Jackson, most particularly about Lamar Jackson and his fun day, because the biggest thing that happened there that people are talking about is Lamar Jackson was playing on the pavement. He was playing corner. He was playing wide receiver, and people were very concerned with that. And I'm going to say it right now, I was concerned with it. And I think a lot of people are like, no, that's ridiculous. He can do whatever he wants, which is true. It is true. Lamar Jackson can do whatever he wants. However, risking an injury in that situation is not smart. Now, I'm going to say this right now. What he did for the community, amazing. I'm not trying to say that Lamar Jackson shouldn't put on fun days for the kids. That is not the point of what I'm saying. That is not the point of what Shannon Sharpe was saying, okay? Nobody is saying that Lamar Jackson can't help out his community. What they're saying is Lamar Jackson shouldn't be taking risks. It would be one thing if Lamar Jackson was like, yeah, I'll play quarterback, no contact. I'll throw you guys some footballs and you guys play wide receiver and DB, and he watches everybody go after it and he's throwing passes. I think the national media would be absolutely okay with that. Non-contact, he's just throwing the ball up and they're making catches and it's 20, 30-yard passes. He's not, putting massive stress on his shoulder. He's not trying to make crazy throws on the run. Like, he's just throwing the ball lightly to guys playing at the park, because like Shannon Sharpe talked about, and people are criticizing what Shannon Sharpe is saying, and I'll get into that in a second, but think about this. I highly doubt any professional athletes are watching this video. If there are, welcome, congratulations. Let me know. I mean, that'd be really cool if any professional athletes were watching this video, or former professional athletes. But Shannon Sharpe is a former professional athlete, a former Raven, a player that is loved by the Ravens and the Ravens organization and many Ravens fans that watched him play. He's been there, okay? He's made good money. And he knows that off the field, off the training grounds, off of practice, you don't want to risk that injury, especially when you haven't gotten paid yet. Okay, there's so many things that are coming out right now that I want to talk about. But the first thing is Shannon Sharpe basically said, I'm not going skiing. I'm not doing any activities that would put me at risk for an injury when I've got money on the table that I could make. Okay, it isn't worth it. And people are saying like, oh, they're coming out there. I'll talk about the rest of the things that Shannon Sharpe said in a second. Don't worry. There's a lot of things I want to talk about. But Shannon Sharpe says that, and people are like, well, he can do whatever he wants, which is correct. You can do whatever you want, but there are risks. And the same thing happened last offseason when we saw Lamar Jackson playing on the beach and diving over a jet ski. And it's like, is that really worth the risk? No, it isn't worth the risk, okay? But, at the same time, you can take that risk. And people are saying Lamar is unfairly criticized. I'm not going to disagree with that statement. Lamar Jackson gets the criticism not everybody gets. However, if you remember Patrick Mahomes, I believe it was his MVP season right after it. Maybe it was right before it, but there was a video that came out of him playing pickup basketball, and he hit a nice spin move and then made, I think, a left-handed like finger roll layup, and it was like, oh, and everybody was hyping it up. And then the Chiefs were like, no, done. No more basketball. That's what they told him. And then the discussion was, should the Chiefs do that? And the consensus ended up becoming, yeah, it makes sense. You don't want Patrick Mahomes, who has a chance to become one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. You don't want him to have a chance of getting injured, especially this early in his career. And so many people are saying, oh, well, if other people did this, they wouldn't be criticized. Like, oh, if Tom Brady did this, he wouldn't be criticized. Which is probably true. If Tom Brady did it, it's probably true. But it's different with Tom Brady. Tom Brady's 43 years old. He's won 7 Super Bowls. Like, if he gets injured, oh no, his career is ruined. He would have played 2 more years. He's already made a ridiculous amount of money. It's not like he's going to become an athlete that becomes broke because he didn't make enough money in his career because he couldn't get to that second contract. Tom Brady's made his money. His wife's made a lot of money. Like, Tom Brady's in a situation where he can take that risk. And if he gets hurt, yeah, it sucks. If you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, I wouldn't want Tom Brady taking those risks. I'm not a Buccaneers fan, so like it doesn't really matter to me. But like, with the young guys, like I don't want Josh Allen doing something like that. I don't want Baker Mayfield doing something like that because, well, as a Ravens fan, Baker Mayfield, if he gets hurt or something like that, kind of helps the Ravens. But I'm a fan of Baker Mayfield. I'm a fan of the young players. Like I don't want those guys getting hurt. I don't want them losing. Maybe it's maybe they tear their Achilles. Maybe they tear their meniscus or something like that. That's a year down the drain. Are they ever back to the same player that they once were? Hopefully, but it's just like it takes that away, and that's really scary. Now, another thing Shannon Sharpe said, I believe he said it this morning or maybe he said it last night. He basically said, hey, it's just like Josh Gordon smoking weed. No, that is a terrible analogy. Josh Gordon smoking weed was very different in the fact that weed was a banned substance and Josh Gordon was risking that and getting banned, whereas Lamar Jackson is doing something that is completely allowed by the NFL. It is allowed by the NFL. Like I'm saying, what Lamar doing isn't wrong. However, it is risky and he probably shouldn't be doing it. But Josh Gordon, that comparison is very different. The comparison, it's like trying to compare Len Bias to Lamar in their off-field activities. No, rest in peace, Len Bias. If you don't know, he died of a cocaine overdose right after he was drafted by the Boston Celtics. If you're from Baltimore, you probably know who Len Bias is, Maryland product. But absolute monster, like compared to Jordan and things like that. Never got to see him in the NBA, but that's very different in abusing substances and playing with the kids and doing that stuff. Like I'm not trying to say what Lamar doing is good for the community. That is not the point of the argument. What he's doing is very good for the community. However, it's not good for his football career. It is taking an unnecessary risk that he doesn't need to be taking. And quite frankly, it's putting the Ravens at risk. And I don't think that the Ravens should be commending the football actions. However, I do think that the Ravens, like putting out videos, being like, look at Lamar helping out the kids. Like, that's great. Like, once again, I want to say Lamar helping out his community is not the problem with this. It's not the problem. Shannon Sharpe isn't saying that's the problem. What they're saying is that him putting himself at injury risk is not smart. If you're a Washington Wizards fan, John Wall like fell down the stairs and missed over a year of basketball. That wasn't even a risk. He was just going down the stairs and things happen. Unfortunate things happen off the field that you just can't control. But what you can't control is the actions that you take off the field and limiting the risks for that. And once again, I'm not trying to like hate on Lamar. Like I think what he did was amazing for his community and bringing it back. However, don't go out there on the asphalt and do that because, for example, I I had a stupid injury when I think I was in middle school. I was playing basketball. We were running, and I went up for a layup. I come down. I'm standing there. Another guy goes up to block the shot. He lands on my foot, kind of bumps into me. We fall over. I broke my foot. Boom, right there. Broken foot. If a guy's running a route next to Lamar, Lamar's covering him, and the guy accidentally steps on Lamar's foot, his ankle twists the wrong way, that could be really bad. It's not like saying like, oh, Lamar's just going to have a Kevin Ware-like injury and just jump and fall over and have some massive injury, but it's like sometimes accidents happen. A guy steps on your foot, you fall the wrong way. Like Lamar's going out there, he's going hard, he wants to win, he's competitive, but anything can happen when you're in those situations. Save it till after you're retired, or do it when you're later in your career and you've made your money. Like, it's not smart for him because he's going to get paid a ridiculous bag likely this offseason, but maybe next season. You want to stay healthy until at least you get that bag. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. I just want to say, like, I think Shannon Sharpe is getting way too much flack from Ravens fans because Shannon Sharpe is a former professional athlete that knows the risks and knows the situation that Lamar is in. He is up for big-time money. Don't take that risk. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content. Go check out the second channel video. What it is it's basically the Lamar Jackson at running back challenge in Madden, where we talk about, or basically I changed Lamar's position to running back, and I simulate a season seeing how Lamar fares, how the Ravens fare with Lamar at running back. It's a lot of fun, but make sure to subscribe to the second channel. Make sure to subscribe for this channel, and I will see all of you again tomorrow.